hardest thing to do, and I know I told some of you guys this yesterday, is put a good practice on top of a good practice. And it's extremely hard once you do something good to then continue to do something good or to exceed that. What's easy, and just remember this, what's easy is to go backwards and then to do something good again, then to go backwards and then to do something good again. And let's say we finish spring and you wonder why we come to fall and you haven't gotten better. Because that's all you've been doing is going, like, you take 2 steps, 2 steps, 2 steps, 2 steps. So after a good practice, we have a day off, we come back. We got to try to like stack those good practices. And whether you're sore, whatever it is, like whatever the detail you paid attention to have the good practice, you got to bring that.
J Mack from Syracuse, New York, man, came all the way out to see my Colorado Buffs.
What channel do you watch? They brought you out here.
The pregame show.
Never watched the college game till last season when Coach Prime came to Colorado. And I am in Colorado at Folsom Field. I am the Colorado Buffaloes auntie from Texas. Sweet treat.
Hey, I've been following the pregame show. It's all about let's go Buffs.
Way from Texas. Yes, sir. Watch you every single day. Nobody lays it down like Uncle Neely and the pregame show.
Neely, pregame show behind the scenes of everything. And why does he get that kind of access? Why does he get that kind of access? Because trust is involved. You would never get the kind of access you desire unless there's trust and relationship. Trying to put you up on game.
Well, it was great watching Shedeur throw the ball. You know, you got to understand when you're bad at running the ball, when it appears to be that you're bad at running the ball, is because you're really, really good or borderline great at throwing the football, and that's what Shedeur brought to this team. And I don't want to say that the team was as bad as they were, but I mean. Like when MJ like dunking, you dunked. Steph Curry like shoot threes, you shoot threes. That's what you do. And then they say you're bad at something else because you're really good at what you actually do. So I don't believe that we were as bad as the numbers say, but I think that we were really good at throwing the football. So I focus on that part of it and coming in here and just trying to figure out. How do we statistically look better to you guys as a team at running the football? And that's what we have to do. We can't just, oh, I got that, I'm good. Because literally, watch the film from one practice to the next. A good day of footwork and path, and mine was it was okay. Saturday was okay. And here's what I know. I was watching all you guys practice, and I'm watching you finish, and I was like, they ain't give it all to the individual. I could tell y'all was coasting an individual a little bit. Because everybody got legs, everybody's running. So, whether I'm here or not, how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you're gonna do it, do it. Or just don't give half-ass. Like do it. It's to make you better. I'm not happy.
Are you getting used to being called coach? And can you talk about like getting into coaching at this stage in your life?
I don't even think about it. The reality is realizing the age gap between myself and these kids. That's the difference, because I still remember myself as a player sitting in the room, and for me it's good because I think about how I wanted to be coached, the things I liked about coaches, the kind of coach I wish I had, and now I'm trying to be that for them. Do it. It's to make you better. I'm not having you do. You're not doing it because You know, it's going like I'm gonna be better, or coach gonna be better. Jake nah. This like literally is for you guys. And the more you keep putting into it, like here's the idea. You do individual, and let's say you go through it, you're tired. And then let's say you get through faster, and once you get through, you have more time to rest to get ready for practice. The faster you get through it, the more time you're gonna have to catch your breath and get ready when we go to the next drill. The longer it takes you, then you don't have that rest, and now you're taking heavy legs into the next period.
You mentioned not feeling like the team was as bad running the football as the numbers say. Just kind of what has stood out to you so far with working with the running back group and the talent you've got with those guys?
I have some guys that's talented. They're good, and one of the things that I believe at this age that resonates with a lot of young kids is they don't know what they don't know. And it's my job to teach them what they don't know. They know what they know, and they're good at that. But the things that they don't know, for me to look at them and say, oh, you know, they're not. Well, it's my job to coach them and get them better in the areas and at the things that they don't know. I am here to deliver that information to them, and then hopefully that helps them to get better. Move back. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good deal. Move up, move back. Move up, move back. There you go, man.
Outside of playing the Broncos during your professional career, did you have any history in Colorado? What would have been your early impressions since you've gotten here?
I've been here several times. Obviously, you guys know the guys who own the Rams, they own the Nuggets, they own the Avalanche. So I've spent some time with the Kroenke family here. They're good friends of mine, wonderful owners, and friends of mine as well. And then literally. I was talking to Coach about coming to camp this year. Last year, I was talking about coming to camp this year when they start camp, because I had to miss last year. I had some stuff going on with my family. My running back coach is Sean Payton was my running back coach, and now he's the head coach at the Broncos. So it's just serendipitous that I'm here now, and it'll be an even easier commute to go there and watch them practice, spend some time with Sean, and get better at the craft, like learn some stuff. This elbow causes most fumbles because as you get tired, it gets lower, and there's only one way to make sure this elbow never go up. You know how? Because physically it can't happen. If you put your thumb in your chest, that elbow will always be up. That. You never have an issue. It'll never be your fault. And he might put it in too far, but that elbow, like this is always our fault. If this elbow ain't up big enough, that means the pocket ain't big enough. The ball that's where it's gonna hit. I just want you to be conscious of it. I don't even want to talk about it too much, and I'm just telling you, it's a huge key. Like if you get that thumb in there, that elbow gonna always be up. You never gotta worry about it. But you're gonna notice you're gonna start getting sloppy with it, and this hand gonna start being like this, and it's gonna work its way to here. But if you pay attention to it and you just start to pay attention as you take handoffs, as we do it, this is that. All right. Second thing is as we work inside zone.
Hey, Coach. Tony Casolo, Buffalo's Wire. We heard you kind of react over there when Coach mentioned needing to improve running the ball and the offensive line. Is that kind of music to your guys' ears when you hear that the offensive line needs and wants to do that?
Man, I just think if you're not trying to improve, then you're getting worse. Even if I came in here and we were coming off being top 10, top 5, I'm still looking at where can we improve. That's the idea, and that's the mindset that we have to have, and that's what we want to instill in the football players that we bring in here and that we coach. I don't care how good you are. It's how much better can we make you? Where can you get better? And if that's all you do is focus on the things that you do well, then you're not improving. I got to take your weakness and turn it into a strength, and that's the idea of what we want to do. And I believe I'm here, and that's what I'm gonna try to do. As you guys look at, and I can't change what you thought about the run game last year. But we're going to be better. I can guarantee you, we are going to be better.
Come on, man. Nobody can get you.
Hey, here we go. Set, go.
Inside cone. Shag on.
Next up. Here we go.
Inside cone. All right. Tight to the cone.
Set, go.
Inside out.
Good.
Inside out. There you go.
Next up.
Inside out.
Set, go.
Inside out. Tight off the cone. Inside out. Boom. There you go.
Hey, Coach, Scott Proctor at DMVR. It's great to meet you. I'm curious kind of your philosophy on how carries, touches should be allocated amongst the running back room. Do you think it should be kind of a committee approach because there are a few different talented guys in the room, or is it become a kind of a 3-down back, a workhorse kind of guy emerge?
Here's the guys that I trust will play. I'm not going to ask them to play. In today's game, asking the player that's tired to play that's unheard of. Back when we played, if I was tired, man, give me more carries because I'm really good now. Now I'm settled. We don't play that type of game anymore. We're trying to protect players. You got to have backs ready to play, and they got to have carries. So, in a sense of it's fairly easy to me. The guys that I trust, based on how they practice and what they do, and how they test, will play. That's it. And I'm gonna ask them to do certain things, and I want to know what they like doing, and so I'm gonna try to put them in positions to win. But in practice, I'm gonna ask them to do some of the things that they dislike because I need them to get better at that, so they can grow if they want to go to the next level.
Coach, I'm Jack Carlo with Buffalo's Wire. Nice to meet you. Just curious, in your running backs room, I believe everyone is returning from last season. Does that make your job any easier, knowing those guys kind of know what Coach Prime expects?
No. It's just because they know what he expects doesn't mean that they showed up at the first practice and gave it to him. It's like, just like everybody else's room after the first practice, we were like, Coach was like, that was crap. And I'm like, well, y'all know, you guys, you've been here. But all in all, man, it's they are still kids, and we have to remember when we were their ages, how many times did our parents have to tell us to do stuff before we got it? They're no different. Although they're athletes, and obviously they get to play on the big stage under the lights, we have to somewhat coddle them in a sense to where they understand the importance and the attention to detail is necessary and getting it right, not some of the times, but all of the times, if you want to be successful.
If the quarterback's in here and you're going this way, that's going to keep you from hitting the quarterback. Those feet will never get tangled up. Outside zone. Say it again. Outside zone. Outside zone. Outside zone, we step here. I don't want you to, some of y'all do this, some of y'all do that. Wherever the point of attack is, I like you, outside leg of the tight end, even if the tight end's not there.
Hey, Coach, John Treach, 9 News. To anyone alive in the 90s and 2000s, you're an all-time great, but that's not necessarily who you're coaching right now. How do you bridge the war stories or to share from your own success and have them understand?
Yeah, football is football. The things that it takes to be great in today's game is what it took to be great in the 40s or 50s. That'll never change. When you watch the game of football, at any point in time, the team who wins the line of scrimmage wins the game. That's it. That's it. That's always going to be the case. If you can dominate the line of scrimmage, you're going to win the game. I don't care how fancy your receivers are, how fast they are, how good your running backs are, how good your quarterback is, how good your secondary, your lineman. If you don't win the line of scrimmage, you are not going to win the game. So I'm coaching football how I know it, and I'm relating it to the game that we play today. And the reality is, they don't have to I mean, I played damn near whole games in college. I'm like, you don't have to do that anymore. That's not. Nobody's asking you to be that kind of talent. We're asking a lot less of them, but the world, which is the social world, is asking a lot more, and sensationalizing their every move make them feel like they need to be great. And waking up every day just trying to get better is how you be great. Not trying to be great, just try to be better, and eventually you're gonna hit your head on great.
He stayed front side. Be quick with. We got.
Hey, Coach, John Treach, 9 News. To anyone alive in the 90s and 2000s, you're an all-time great, but that's not necessarily who you're coaching right now. How do you bridge the war stories or like to share like from your own success and have them understand?
Yeah, football is football. The things that it takes to be great in today's game is what it took to be great in the 40s or 50s. That'll never change. When you watch the game of football, at any point in time, the team who wins the line of scrimmage wins the game. That's it. That's it. That's always going to be the case. If you can dominate the line of scrimmage, you're going to win the game. I don't care how fancy your receivers are, how fast they are, how good your running backs are, how good your quarterback is, how good your secondary, your lineman. If you don't win the line of scrimmage, you are not going to win the game. So I'm coaching football how I know it, and I'm relating it to the game that we play today. And the reality is, they don't have to. I mean, I played damn near whole games in college. I'm like, you don't have to do that anymore. That's not. Nobody's asking you to be that kind of talent. We're asking a lot less of them, but the world, which is the social world, is asking a lot more, and sensationalizing their every move make them feel like they need to be great. And waking up every day just trying to get better is how you be great. Not trying to be great, just try to be better, and eventually you're gonna hit your head on great.
You got nowhere to go. You got nowhere to go when you meet him in there. Instead of sitting and waiting, instead of like sitting and waiting, you can go beat him and he got nowhere to go.
I was just curious how far back your relationship goes with Coach Prime and what the conversations were like leading up to you taking this job.
Man, so I remember the first like real conversation he and I had was like in 1999. I was telling him that the dance that he did as a celebration dance, it was a dance that came from New Orleans that he saw when he was in New Orleans. He saw it. I know it because I know that, we know the guys who invented a lot of the dances. Just like Justin Jefferson and the Gritty, that came from New Orleans. We know, we are a, if there's a song, we have a dance for it kind of culture. That's us. And so the dance that he did, I told him where he got it from. So we're in game. He's playing for the Redskins at the time. I'm with the Rams. And then I flank out, and this is just funny. I line up, and I walked out there, and he lined up on me, and I said, "Oh man, I've been waiting for this my whole life." And he said, "Where you at? You on the outside edge of the numbers? You here?" He said, "That's all you can run is a slant." And I actually had a slant route. I'm like, God damn. And our relationship started then. We worked in television together at NFL Network. And we spent so much time on the road. We literally we went through the Hall of Fame process. The same year. We actually had we had our party together. We've done a lot of stuff together, And, you know, I heard you guys ask Pecco, like coaching-wise, what did he think about it, whatever. I've been saying no to coaching since I left football. And for the past like 3, maybe 4 years, Coach has been grooming me. You know, he'll call me and ask me certain stuff. He'll ask me about a player, and we'll talk about this and that. Hey, come up and watch us practice. So he's been grooming me, and I always felt like for what I invested in the game, it took away from me with my kids, and so for the past time I've been away from the game, not coaching, not doing anything other than that was television was the only thing that I would do because I could get my Friday night stuff when they play, and then my during the week stuff when my girls would play, I could be at their stuff, and television allowed me to do that, and now it's like I'm wondering when they can come see me. They're older, so it's been I was groomed. Coach worked on it. He worked on it.
Open the scheme, Mark! 11. Yes, sir!
I see you on your look, right? You're using your hands.
One thing that I notice when Coach Prime refers to you is he talks about how much he reveres your offensive mind. And I'm curious, how have you seen the game evolve over the last, decade, 2 decades to where it is now? And how much are you looking forward to kind of lending your expertise to help improve not just the running game, but the entire offense?
Yeah, so it's a much faster paced game. And what we do on offense is we play fast because we don't care if we make mistakes. We want you to make mistakes on defense. It's a game that even more than when we played, the team who has the most fundamentals, if you tackle better, if you block, if you do those things, you're going to win. And even more so now than when we play because they play fast, they play so many plays, and you don't have as much time to get the players ready. So the fundamental things that you don't have time to do, you can't bang all day. You can't get your offensive line as ready as they used to. You can't tackle to the ground as much as there's not as much alive, so you can't do that. So now the importance of those 2 things, blocking and tackling, are so important in today's game. And then for my guys, just making sure that they understand the fundamentals of the game. Knowing your assignment, knowing your alignment, knowing who to get and how to get them. That's what we got to do. There's 2 things that you got to be able to do when you play running back: protect the ball and protect the quarterback. If you can't do them, then you can't play. That's like you are a hazard to the team.
Right, if you keep your shoulders square, you can make that cut. If you this way, you can't make that cut. That's why your shoulders square. For the play that's not blocked perfect. Like we're prepared for plays that aren't blocked perfect. And when they are blocked perfect, we make minimum movement.
Coach Prime has been big on teaching these guys financial literacy, and you've been in that industry.
Yeah.
Is that one of the reasons that he brought you in? Is that something that you'll be doing with this team as well?
It is part of the dynamic that I bring. I've spent the past 7 years working in the financial sector, and what we want to do, and this is what I love about the man and the person. Obviously, you guys, you see the glasses and the chain, and he has his isms that he says, and and all the stuff that he does, and he appears to be this figure that's larger than life. But in reality, when these kids leave here, the most important thing that he cares about is who they become as a young man. That is the most important thing. And making sure, because he knows, and in sports, not just football, in sports, when a lot of athletes leave their sport, financially they're not in good standing. And he wants to educate you on the field, he wants to educate you in life, he wants to make sure you're educated in finances. You know, making sure that these young men take the values of football and go be great in football, but make sure you're great in life as well. And that's the idea. He said something yesterday that hit me. A lot of, and I lost my father at a young age, so I grew up kind of fatherless as well. And a lot of these young men that come here, they come here fatherless. And then one of the worst things in the world is to be fatherless and then become a father, without being taught how to be a father. And making sure that they understand the aspects of life and how when you're taught something, the best way is to then teach it to make sure that is ingrained in you. And you know, he's one of those guys that care. Like he talked more about the GPA of the team than he does the 9 wins that they had last year. And that's indicative to the person that he is, that don't show up when you see him sitting here, you know, giving those superlative answers that he gives.
How's it going? Man, we played against each other, man. We was at Carlisle's at Walker. Okay. We came down to Berlin a couple weeks ago. How's it going? Congratulations. Excuse me. How's everything going? Proud of you. Yeah.
So where y'all from?
We up from Miami, Florida.
All the way from Miami.
All the way from Miami.
Appreciate y'all coming, man.
Hey, man, we love what you guys are doing, man. We want to support you in every way.
Appreciate your family.
And we're recruiting at home. Everything we see at home, we bring it this way.
My man.
Thank
You gotta believe. Dude, we've been believing since day one,
That's
dog.
why I gave them to
Remember
you.
back in Jackson State? We've been believing with you in the pregame show.